guys, and welcome back to my channel, Cook, Plate, Repeat. In today's episode, I'm gonna show you how to make oven-baked chicken that's gonna come out juicy, crispy, succulent, tender, and flavorful in your own home, in your own oven, and it's only gonna take you about an hour, and we're gonna use simple ingredients. Let's get started. Okay guys, so first things first, we're gonna clean our chicken, and we're gonna use lemon water to do it. As you see down here, I have lemon water. All you have to do is use some normal water, put some lemons in it, and you're ready to go. So, in the type of chicken I'm using is from Costco. It is organic young chicken, Kirkland brand, and this is a 5-pound young chicken, okay? You can use any brand you want, but I like using organic chicken. All right, so let's open this package up and start cleaning this bird. All right, so we're gonna turn our water on here, kind of low. So we're just gonna clean this bird, okay? Now there's a couple of things we gotta do, and what I like to do is just run some water through it first. If there's anything in here, I'm gonna cut that neck out. But as you can see, it's pretty much nothing's in there. All right, so we're gonna cut this neck. Just cut that out. You got some excess skin here. So what I like to do, I can use a knife, but I like to use scissors. Just cut that off. Check for anything excess. So this is what we have after we rinse it one more time. Now you see here we have some feathers. So this is the time that you can take to examine your bird and make sure all the feathers is off as possible. And you need good lighting to see all of this, guys. This part takes a little time sometimes because they process these birds so fast. They don't get all the feathers and everything off of them. All right, so she's good to go. That's what she should look like. And we can put her into this lemon water. Okay, as much as possible. Scrub that skin with them lemons, because you don't want this bird to taste like the wrapper it came out of. Basically, you're giving this bird a bath. Heard it talking. You ever seen a bird take a bath? Well, this is a bird bath. Afterlife. Bird bath. All right, so now I'm gonna take my chicken out of the water and we're gonna pat it down dry. All right, so you're taking it out of the lemon water. Now we're gonna pat it down dry. Now sometimes you still have some feathers left over or some feathers that just stuck to the meat. You just take that off. Sometimes during this process of patting down the chicken dry, you know, sometimes some of the feathers stick to the meat that already came off. Just wipe them off. You can see some of that's like feathers still stuck. That's why it's important that you clean your bird thoroughly. And this is, just take the time, don't rush. Just take the time to clean it. Make sure that any skin coming off is off, any feathers, it's mostly feathers. All right, we patted our chicken down dry. Now it's time to season it. To prepare our chicken for seasoning, we're first gonna drench some olive oil on it, okay? So here's our olive oil, regular EVOO. We're gonna sprinkle that on it. We're just gonna give it an olive oil bath, all right? Massage this olive oil on this chicken. Get in the wings, under the wings, everywhere. Okay, so what this olive oil is going to do is going to help the seasoning stick to it and allow that seasoning to penetrate the chicken. All right, we're going to do every side of this bird. Okay. All right, even the inside. Okay, so we got our chicken like this. Some olive oil a little bit inside. And inside here. Our bird is olive oiled up. She's ready to go with the seasoning. All right, so now it's time to season our bird. So we're gonna use some basic seasoning, guys. You can get this out of a store. It is Killer Hogs All-Purpose Seasoning. okay? Has garlic powder, salt, pepper, and other herbs in it. It's really good. So we're just gonna sprinkle this onto our chicken. Now you can use any seasoning you want, but you know, this is just a simple baked chicken. We don't need a lot of seasoning. We just wanna make sure that it's seasoned up nicely, all right? So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit. Now what I'd like to do, because I'm gonna stuff this bird, I just sprinkle a little bit on top, that's all. And then I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna sprinkle some on the back. Okay, and turn it back over. Because what I'm gonna do after I stuff the chicken, zip tie the legs, I'm gonna put a little bit more seasoning on top, okay? So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and we're gonna stuff this. Now what I use is onions and lemons. Now you can use apples too, but I'm just gonna use onions and lemons. All right, just take that and put them in there just like that. Some lemons there. This lemon flavor in these onions is gonna come out and tenderize this bird, and it's gonna give it a nice aromatic taste, and it's gonna just basically improve the all-around flavor of the bird. Now you can be fancy and put, you know, apples and thyme and rosemary in here, but you know, I wanted to make this episode of oven baked chicken just something simple that people have at home. Most people have onions and lemons at home, so that's why we're gonna use here. All right, so that's pretty much it. No more, no less than that. And now we just tie. Now I'm not the best at tying this, but we just want to make sure this bird cooks evenly. So now you let me know in the comments below, how do you tie your legs together on your chicken? Uh-oh, our oven is ready. She's preheated. And that reminds me, guys, go ahead and preheat your oven. There we go. All right, now that's not perfect, but hey, you know, you can just, I'll just cut these off. All right, so now chicken cooks evenly, and what we do, just fold these in like this. There we go. Fold them in like that. And our bird is ready to be put in the oven now. So I like to come back with our seasoning after I get the bird stuffed and I got the legs tied up. I like to come back in with our seasoning and just sprinkle some more on. Because with all the hand handling of this bird, of putting lemons and onions inside the bird, you know, stuffing the bird, sometimes your seasonings can get worn off. And she's ready. So now what we're gonna do is transfer this from this pan to our actual baking dish. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like. All right, so here we go. Transfer. All right, that kind of little fell out there, but that's okay. Stuff that back in, like that. And that's how she looks. All right, so we can turn, I'm gonna turn this around so you can see. All right, so now all we gotta do is put this in the oven. Now, before we put it in the oven, and we're gonna cover this, and the reason why we're gonna cover this bird is because we don't want the skin to get scorched or charred in the oven, all right? All right, here's my aluminum foil that we're gonna use, all right? Cover just like this. All right, now there's a method to what I'm doing. I'm covering it like this, okay? I'm making it puff up in the middle, okay? Now I just did this just to get an outline. All right, you don't need a fancy chicken bakers with a lid. You know, if you have one, great. But all you gotta do is do something like this. What I like to do is poke it in the middle, right? So it pops up so it doesn't stick to the chicken. So the top lifts up off the chicken. You don't want this to touch the chicken, all right? And it's gonna hold that moisture in, all right? So it's gonna hold that moisture in. And we're gonna put this back. Now you may have to work this a little bit. All right, so that's, you know, if it's loose, a little loose, that's fine. But see, this top part is up off the bird. That's what you want, all right? So I'm gonna do something a little different that most people don't do. And this is good to have, all right? This is an Inkbird temperature, wireless temperature thermometer, okay? So I like to put this in the breast part. All right, just like that, all right? That's gonna tell me the internal temp. This tells me the temperature inside the bird, okay? So it's saying that this is birds at 73 degrees inside. It's gonna go down some more. Now, you can use this while you're cooking. And so let's say when it gets up to that 45-minute mark, you want to know what's the temperature in the bird before you take your aluminum shield off. Well, you'll know what the temperature of the bird is. Then when you pop it back in and let's say it reaches 165, and you say, hey, look, it's not brown enough or golden brown enough at the top. You can gauge the temperature and decide when to take it out or how long to leave it in. So this is really good. It's Inkbird. I'll put this in the description box below. Now, as you can see, I have 4 of those. So you can put them in different parts of your bird or turkey. Now, it's really good for turkey because it takes turkey some time to cook. It's really good for that because certain parts of the turkey cook faster or slower than others. So this is done. It's ready to be popped in the oven. We've got a heat shield on. We're just gonna keep all that moisture inside until we take it off. Now let's go ahead and transfer this into the oven. Okay, so our oven is at temp. We're just gonna transfer our bird into the oven. This is how it looks, okay? We're gonna transfer it into the oven just like this. We're gonna close it, okay? We're gonna set a cook time for, let's say, 45 minutes, okay? And that's it, all right? So now we're gonna let it cook for 45 minutes. I have my Inkbird right here. It's magnetic, but I just set it right here. It's telling me the temperature inside of that chicken, okay? All right, we'll see you back in about 45 minutes. Okay guys, our chicken is ready to be taken out of the oven, but remember, we're taking it out to take the foil off, then we're gonna put it back in, all right? And I'm gonna show you what that looks like, and I'm gonna show you how this chicken looks before we put it back in for the second bake. All right, taking it out. Okay, so we're gonna take the aluminum foil off and we're gonna see how she looks. All right, look at that steam. She looks pretty, doesn't she? Nice and pretty. See all that chicken stock, those chicken juices and drippings at the bottom? Nice and evenly cooked. So I'm very happy with this. This is what your chicken should look like, okay? All because we use aluminum foil for about 45 minutes. So we're gonna put the chicken back in the oven, uncovered. Now when we put it back in the oven, we're gonna see the skin crisp up, okay? And we're gonna see it brown, okay? And get that nice golden brown look. And when we finish with it, it's not gonna look burnt on top or anything. It's gonna look perfect, like you went to a restaurant. All right, so let's go ahead and put this chicken back in the oven. Okay, so we're gonna let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes more. We'll see you back around that time. Okay guys, we reached the final part of baking this chicken. Now, let's take it out of the oven. And look at that. Beautiful, beautiful baked chicken. All right guys, so you saw that we took our chicken out of the oven. She is nicely cooked. She's nicely golden brown at the top. You see all of our drippings at the bottom. We can use that and just pour it right back over the chicken. And I want to let you know something. You see this right here? This is my Inkbird thermometer. Okay, I have like 4 of them. Okay, all right. So this shows that this bird inside is at 185 degrees, okay? The bird is not burnt, it's still succulent, it's still juicy. But remember, when we take our chicken out of the oven, the temperature inside is still gonna rise because when we take the chicken out of the oven, the chicken is still cooking, so that's normal, all right? So we just take this baby out, and that's out. Wash that, and you can see now the temperature is going down, okay? So our Inkbird thermometer has done its job. It helped in the cooking process. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and carve our chicken. First, we're going to go ahead and take this twine off. So we're just going to go like this. Look at that juice. That juice right there. All that juice. Ooh, nice and moist. Look at that. Just going to set this delectable piece right over here, just like that. We do the same thing here. Okay. Do the wings. Nice and moist juice. All right. Okay. Let's see how it tastes. It's very good. Nice, juicy, flavorful, tender, oven-baked chicken. All right, well, you know what? I tasted the chicken, but let's see how these drippings taste on the chicken. Let me cut another piece. Those drippings intensify the flavor of that chicken. You definitely want to save your drippings and pour it right on your chicken. I'm telling you, those drippings amplify the taste. All right, guys. So we tasted the chicken by itself. It was fire. We tasted the chicken with the drippings. It is double fire. So again, from my kitchen to your kitchen, much love, and we'll see you next episode.